Or when you are first beginning to use GardenCAD, you will quite soon need to use the editing commands. The editing commands are in a group under the Modify drop-down, but as you'll see in a moment, they're also available with the click of the right mouse button. But let's look at some of these. You've already seen the advantage of the copy command. Let's just, for the sake of argument, imagine that we went to our planting list and we picked this particular species and we dragged it over here and we clicked on it. We mentioned a moment ago that the first option in the drop down menu was copy. So if we pick the copy option, look down in the spacebar, it says in the command area, the word or command copy has been fed, and it asks us to specify a base point. So we just click in the middle of that object. Now we can copy it and pop it into position in the garden. So we'll put a group of 3 in there. The next command is a move. So if we wanted to move, we just pick it, click the entity, mark a base point, mark a point in the middle, right click first, then mark a point in the middle and do it. So you can see you need to practice a little, and you need to keep your eye down here. The erase command's fairly obvious. If we wanted to erase that object, just click it, right click and go down to erase, or modify and erase, and it will disappear. Fairly straightforward. To remove that line, click it, modify and erase. Perhaps when you're learning, using these drop down menu items is pretty good. A rotate, clearly the north point here would be a candidate for that. Pick the object, watch down at the bottom, it says select objects 1 found, 1 total. You would then right click your mouse button, specify a base point in the middle there, and then move away, and you can see I can spin my north point indicator. The next item on the list is the scale, and you'd use scale when you're dealing with plant species or plant symbols. Let's say this one, we pick it, we modify and we scale it and click in the middle and just drag out. It's very dynamic, and now we've made a larger representation of that very same symbol. Under that is the mirror command, and if you go into the case study you will see that I've used the mirror command I only drew half of what is a structure supporting stainless steel wires that will grow a creeper over. I only drew half of it and then mirrored it around this line as the central line. So you can see how that's done by looking in that case study module. The join command will change it to the Windows Vista. Sorry about that interruption. The join command enables you to join individual elements together to make them one. So I'll select that one, that one, that one and that one. They're now grouped together, and I could then right click, or I should be able to click on them and they should look as one, and they didn't. So I'll highlight them first, modify and join. Now when I click on them, they're still not joined. So there's a little problem there, and one wonders what that problem is. Am I not using the command correctly? Modify, join, select the objects, right button to stop, click, 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 right button, now click on them, still not right. So there's definitely a problem there. Let me just, for my interest, draw a series of lines out here. When I click on an individual line, it's a single line. When I use the modify and join, select that, 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 and right click, and then click on them. They're all one object. So the command is working correctly there. There is some problem with my drawing in here. It is possible that that fails because of the mirroring that occurred in that zone. So there are other ways to overcome that. You could just simply draw over the top of those lines. But I digress. We're looking at these modify commands. A trim, to operate the trim command, we'll zoom in. Sorry, we'll zoom in here. Modify trim. We'll set the watch. You have to watch the prompts. It says select the cutting edges. So we'll come here, pick the edge of the circle, pick that, and we've trimmed off that line that was projecting through here. We can't trim this one off. We need to erase that particular line there. So the design is improving. We are using these commands. Extend is quite often useful to draw, say, a dummy line out here and just use the modify extend option and pick this as the boundary and say that line, whoops, do that again, modify extend. The prompt says select the boundary edges. It wants you to go on selecting more, right click, and the object to extend is that one. So I've extended that line out to that point, and this might be some sort of paving area. Extend is a useful option. So you can see we've quickly run through those various edit commands that are available to you in the GardenCAD environment.